Hi, let's begin. So in the opening scene, we are in Kettle Springs, Missouri, where we see some teenagers partying near a bonfire. They're hanging out right outside the Babin corn syrup factory, and one boy and girl sneak into the cornfield to get intimate. Suddenly, a masked man wearing a clown face attacks and kills them both. This clown figure is actually the town's mascot, Friendo. So the clown in Cornfield is Friendo itself. The scene then shifts to present time, where we see a teenage girl named Quinn. Quinn is moving to Kettle Springs with her father Glenn. Glenn is a doctor who recently lost his wife. Quinn's mother died due to an overdose, and ever since then, Glenn hasn't had the courage to step into the emergency room again. So he's moved to this small town to work as a general physician for the entire community. The next day, Quinn is about to leave for school when their neighbor Rust shows up. Rust also goes to the same school and walks with Quinn. While walking, Quinn notices how the town's adults seem kind of antisocial. Rust warns Quinn, telling her she should stay away from bad company. In class, Quinn arrives late. The students here are really annoying their teacher, Mr. Vern, like putting weird morphed pictures of him around the class, recording everything and uploading it online. This angers Mr. Vern, and he gives Quinn detention for being late. When a guy named Cole tries to defend Quinn, Mr. Vern gives him detention too. After class, Quinn and Cole start talking, and we then see Cole's friend group, Janet, Ronnie, Matt, and Tucker. We learn that Cole is the son of the town mayor, Arthur Hill. Cole and his group make parody videos and upload them on YouTube. They even have a decent number of subscribers. Later, Quinn is at a diner with her dad Glenn. Glenn tries to reason with her, since she already got detention on the first day of school, and he's not too thrilled about it. At the diner, we also meet waitress Trudy and Sheriff Dunn. Suddenly, Cole and his friends show up at the window. They warn Quinn, saying it's better if she doesn't hang out with those kids. Quinn, annoyed by the adults' constant judgments, leaves and goes straight to Cole and his group. Here, we find out that just a few days ago, the Babin corn syrup factory caught fire, and the town's adults, including the sheriff, blame Cole and his friends for it. But Cole tells Quinn clearly that they were just there shooting a parody video that night. They didn't cause the fire. Next, Matt and Tucker go to a store owned by a guy named Otis and pretend to get into a fight, so the others can use the distraction to steal alcohol bottles. However, Cole does leave money on the counter. That night, the underage crew drinks together. During the drinking, Matt pretends to get hurt, while Tucker wears the Friendo costume and acts like he's attacked Matt. Quinn gets scared. And Janet records Quinn's reaction to upload it on YouTube. Basically, it was a prank, and Quinn ends up laughing too. Later, Cole and Quinn spend some time alone. Quinn tells Cole that her mom passed away recently, and Cole shares that his sister also died not long ago. She tried to jump into the water from a cliff, but misjudged the jump, hit a rock, and died. By now, Quinn had built a close bond with the group, especially with Cole. Late at night, Cole drops Quinn home. Before going inside, Quinn kisses Cole. But right then, her father Glenn comes outside, furious. He scolds Quinn for disappearing all night without telling him. Inside, a heated argument breaks out because ever since her mother died, Quinn and Glenn's relationship has been cracking. Quinn goes to her room and sees that her scared reaction video has already been posted online. At first, she watches it excitedly, but then notices something creepy. When Tucker scared her wearing the Friendo costume, someone else in a Friendo costume was also visible in the background. Yes, Quinn points this out in the group chat. Tucker, who's at home at that moment, notices it too. Just then, Tucker's doorbell rings. He opens the door to see a person wearing the Friendo clown mask. Tucker thinks it's just a prank by Matt and tries calling him out. But the prank drags on too long. Tucker walks into a room where plastic sheets are laid out, and he also finds a Friendo music box, boxes that play creepy tunes and pop out a clown at the end. Tucker winds up the box. And suddenly, Friendo appears from behind and stabs him to death. Friendo then wraps Tucker's body in the plastic sheet and drags it away. In the opening scene, the girl who died had also played the same music box, so it seems like whoever plays the music box dies. The next day, The town is celebrating Founders' Day, a festival where the adults hold parades and celebrate the corn harvest. This town only has one factory, the Babin Corn Syrup Factory, so yes, corn is a big deal here. On Founders' Day, Mayor Arthur Hill, Cole's father, is supposed to give a speech. He tells Cole not to attend the parade because of the detention incident at school. But Cole's mom allows him anyway. This scene also makes it clear that Arthur is pretty disappointed with his son. Meanwhile, we see Matt working out in his garage when he too finds a Friendo music box. Matt winds it up, then throws it away, but in the very next moment, Friendo appears and puts pressure on the bench press Matt is using. Then Friendo uses a sharp tool to literally decapitate Matt, meaning by now, both Matt and Tucker have fallen victim to Friendo. Coming back to the Founders' Day parade, Mayor Arthur Hill is giving a speech while Cole, Quinn, Janet, and Ronnie are busy filming videos. Suddenly, a drunk man wearing a Friendo mask starts juggling firecrackers while riding a unicycle. Chaos breaks out, the entire parade gets disrupted, and even small fires start around the area. Everyone panics. The sheriff suspects this is the work of Cole and his gang, so he immediately arrests Cole, Quinn, Janet, and Ronnie and locks them up in the police station. A while later, Quinn's father Glenn arrives to bail them out. At this point, Glenn is furious with Quinn. He had planned to gift her a manual transmission car and teach her how to drive it, but after the police station incident, his mood is completely ruined. He grounds Quinn, meaning she's forbidden from going outside. However, that night, Cole invites Quinn to a party. After her dad falls asleep, she sneaks out. Cole picks her up, and they head toward the party. On the way, Cole gives Quinn the same creepy Friendo music box. While driving, they spot Rust on the road, who appears to be returning from a deer hunt. From the conversation between Rust and Cole, it's clear they know each other well and even share some kind of past. Anyway, Cole and Quinn reach the party, a teenage bash that Cole had pretty much sponsored. After dancing, Cole and Quinn get intimate, but Cole suddenly starts saying some awkward, gay things, which upsets Quinn and she storms outside. Just then, a girl named Ginger stumbles out of the cornfield with an arrow in her back. Quinn is shocked, but Janet and Ronnie assume it's just another prank pulled by Matt and Tucker, since they've been missing for a day or two. Suddenly, someone throws Matt's severed head from the cornfield. Even after seeing the head, Janet and Ronnie think it's fake. They're that clueless. In fact, they start playing with the severed head. Quinn, however, confirms that Ginger is actually dead, and everyone starts to panic. At that moment, Friendo emerges from the cornfield and begins attacking the teens. He brutally kills Janet, Ronnie, and almost gets Quinn too, but just in time, Rust shows up and shoots Friendo with a shotgun. Before Quinn can unmask the fallen Friendo, a swarm of other Friendos appear from the cornfield, each armed with different weapons, chainsaws, pitchforks, swords, and more. Cole also arrives on the scene. Rust fires another shot at a Friendo, and then the group Cole, Quinn, Janet, Ronnie, and Rust run and hide inside a nearby farmhouse. They know they can't stay hidden for long, as the Friendos start cutting through the door. Inside, Quinn spots a pig hatch that leads underground. Rust plans to create a small explosion using fuel and a tractor to distract the Friendos, while the others escape through the pig tunnel. That's exactly what happens. Rust sets off a blast, and the others crawl through the underground passage and emerge in the cornfield. Their plan now is to reach the highway and call for help, either from passing cars or a neighbor's house. Cole wants to go back and help Rust, but everyone stops him. During this escape, we learn something big. Cole and Rust are actually gay and have feelings for each other. But Cole hasn't fully accepted his sexuality yet, and that's why he overcompensates by always chasing girls. Meanwhile, Glenn walks into Quinn's room and realizes she's missing. He starts searching for her around town and notices that the lights at his clinic are on. When he checks it out, he sees there's been a break-in. Suddenly, a Friendo appears and threatens Glenn with a knife, forcing him into the clinic. Inside, another Friendo is badly injured, probably the one Rust shot earlier. The knife-wielding Friendo demands Glenn to operate on the injured one. Glenn reluctantly starts the procedure, but cleverly tricks the attacker and stabs him in the neck with his own knife. Glenn escapes the clinic in his car. Back to Cole and the team, they reach the highway and run into Sheriff Dunn. But instead of listening to them, the sheriff arrests only Cole and leaves the rest. Oddly, he completely ignores Queen, Janet, and Ronnie. So the remaining girls decide to cross the cornfields to reach a neighbor's house. But once again, they're attacked by friendos. In the chaos, Ronnie gets killed. Queen and Janet finally make it to the neighbor's house. But this neighbor is also dressed in a friendo costume. Inside the house, they find photos and newspaper clippings of Cole and his gang, proof that some adults had been planning to eliminate them for a while. Janet then winds up the cursed friendo music box, and sure enough, a friendo immediately attacks and kills her. Queen somehow kills that friendo, but more friendos arrive and capture her. Since she can't drive a manual car, she's unable to escape. Eventually, the friendos drag her into the old corn syrup factory. There, friendos remove their masks, revealing themselves as Sheriff Dunn, teacher Mr. Vern, store owner Otis, and diner waitress Trudy. Several adults from the town had been secretly wearing friendo masks and murdering teens. And guess who's leading them? The mayor, Arthur Hill. At this point, the adults, or rather, the friendos, reveal their true motive. Mayor Hill explains that the town's grown-ups are trying to preserve its traditions and culture, which they feel are under attack. In the 1920s, they got rid of the hobos. In the 1960s, they eliminated the hippies. Every Founders Day night, they kill off people they see as a threat to the town's morals. In their eyes, these teens are bad crops that need to be destroyed to protect the rest. Today's teenagers, they say, mock tradition, spread nonsense online, and create chaos. So, these adults decided to eliminate the few who were disrupting the peace. Finally, Mayor Hill even reveals that he had hung his own son Cole by a rope as punishment. Mayor Hill wanted to finish off his own son too. He had already disowned Cole and was setting things up so it would look like Cole was the one who killed everyone and then took his own life. Cole yells at his father, calling him insane, but Mayor Hill coldly says that Cole died for him the day Cole caused his sister's death. Cole defends himself, saying her death was just an accident, but Hill insists it was Cole's responsibility to protect her, and he failed. Now, just as the friendos are about to kill Cole and Queen, Glenn crashes into the scene with his car, sending chaos everywhere. In this explosive entry, Trudy and Otis get taken out. Mayor Hill makes a move to kill Cole, and the sheriff chases after Queen. Queen uses an electric shock device to electrocute the sheriff and take him down. Hill tries to pull the car out from under Cole's feet to make him fall and hang himself, but the car won't move. Its tires are stuck on some debris. While Hill is trying to remove the debris, we get another shocking revelation. When the town's factory burned down and half the people lost their jobs, and the blame fell on Cole and his gang. Well, turns out Mayor Hill was the one who set the fire, just to collect insurance money. Yes, the factory had been running at a loss, and Hill still had to pay all the salaries. So he chose the easier way out, burn it down, get the insurance, and be free of the financial burden. After revealing this, Hill manages to move the car and drives off, leaving Cole hanging, but Glenn holds him up, saving him, and just then, Rust arrives and shoots the rope, freeing Cole. That also confirms Rust survived the earlier explosion. Cole and Rust kiss, and Queen arrives soon after. The trio Queen, Rust, and Cole escape in a car along with Glenn, but their path is blocked by Mr. Vaughn, their teacher, wielding a chainsaw. Queen is driving. It's a manual car, but following her dad's driving instructions, she not only handles the car but runs Vaughn over, ending him. So yes, in the end, Cole, Rust, Queen, and Glenn survive. However, Mayor Arthur Hill escaped in his car. So yeah, he's still out there, alive. 1 year hence, Glenn is now running for mayor and Queen is heading off to college. Cole and Rust, now openly in a relationship, come to say goodbye to her. They give her a collapsible baton as a gift so she can defend herself. Queen drives off in her car, but in the back seat, she finds a Babin music box. She throws it out the window, it lands on the road, and opens. The end. Mayor Arthur Hill is still alive, so direct hint at a sequel is totally possible. Anyone who opened the Babin music box always ended up dead, not because of any supernatural force, it was more of a director's metaphor, connecting all the killings to the friendos. The main theme of film is generational differences. The adults believed the teens were disrespecting the town's traditions, values, and old ways. They didn't like their behavior, their videos, or their modern lifestyle. Things like the Friendos spoof YouTube video or the incident where a festival float burned down made the adults feel like Kettle Springs' reputation was being destroyed, but the real truth is, the townspeople never changed with the modern times. Their entire economy was tied to one failing factory, and when that factory started tanking, the whole town suffered. Mayor Hill burned it down for the insurance money, which caused mass unemployment, and then he blamed it on the teens. If this isn't hypocrisy, what is? The older generation's fear and hatred of the younger ones, who they see as a threat to their identity and values. It's also about power and control. The older folks in the movie act more like a cult than just concerned citizens. If we compare the film to the novel, there are some key differences. In the book, Cole and his friends actually did set the factory on fire, but in the movie, that blame goes to Mayor Hill. That's a twist added for the film. Also, in the novel, Ronnie and Matt join forces with the adults to save themselves, only to be later killed by Quinn. But in the film, the Friendos take them out, and the biggest difference? In the book, Quinn dies, killed by the Friendos. Before dying, she reveals there's more than one Friendo. After that, the story continues from Rust and Cole's perspective. They're the main leads in the book, and they have a romantic subplot. The film does include their romance, but here Quinn is the main lead and she survives till the end.